My name is Flash Isaac, and I'm a teacher from the future. When I was much younger, I saw thousands and thousands of people fail Jamb and unable to gain admission. This made me travel in time. Now I am back with the Flashlearners Jamb app and a series on YouTube tagged 120 Days to Jamb. My mission is to help you blast Jamb and as well get justice for everyone who Jamb has served breakfast. This is episode number 80 of the 120 Days to Jamb Mathematics with Flash Isaac. In this episode, we shall be looking at locus. The plural is loci. Locus is not a hotcake topic in Jamb Mathematics, and at least once in 2-3 years, questions come under loci, one question. And the good news about locus or loci is that you do not need to panic too much. Most of the questions are fixed or repeated. When it comes to locus, Jamb expects you to know that locus is a set of all points whose location is determined by one or more specific condition. And you have to know locus about points. When it comes to points, Jamb expects you to know locus formed by parallel lines, locus formed by perpendicular bisector, locus formed by angular bisector, locus formed by arcs and circles, and locus formed by line and surfaces. This is how the class will go. I will tell you the various things you need to know under each of these locus. Then we look at almost like 99% of the questions Jamb ever set under locus. If you take note of the dictation or of the questions, then that is everything you should know under locus. The questions will not get twisted. They will just ask you like that, just the way I'm going to say it. But before we do that, how about a little revision under trig ratios? Tan theta is sin theta over cos theta, and cot theta is cos theta over sin theta, which means cot is 1 over tan theta, and sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Then tan square theta plus 1 is equals cos square theta. Sec theta is 1 over cos theta, while cosec theta is 1 over sin theta. Sin theta is equals cos 90 minus theta. Cos theta is sin 90 minus theta. Look at this. If sin theta is cos 90 minus theta, it means if I give you sin 60 here, it will be the same thing as cos 30. Sin 60 is cos 30. If I give you cos 60 here, it will be the same thing as sin 30, because 90 minus 60 is 30. So that is how it is. And sin 90 will therefore be equals cos 0. 90 minus 90 is 0. So that is how it is basically and basically and basically. Similarly, if here is 0, cos 0 will be the same thing as sin 90. You see, it makes a lot of sense, and we found the application in one of the questions. So when it comes to locus formed by parallel lines, these are the things you should know. 1. The locus of a point which moves so that its distance from a fixed straight line is constant. That locus is a straight line parallel to the fixed point. And the second thing you should know about locus formed by parallel lines is that the locus of a point which moves so that it is equidistant from two straight lines is a straight line parallel to the two lines and also passing through their midpoints. Listen to that over and over again. Those are the two things you should know under locus. I'm not emphasizing so much because we shall look at questions which answers all these sides. And when it comes to perpendicular bisectors, you should know that the locus of a point equidistant from 2 points is a perpendicular bisector of the line joining the 2 points. The locus of a point equidistant from 3 or more points is the point of intersection of the perpendicular bisectors. And for angular bisectors, locus formed by angular bisectors: 1. The locus of a point equidistant from 2 fixed lines is the internal bisector of the angle between the lines. The locus of a point, number 2 now, the locus of a point equidistant from 3 or more straight lines is the point of intersection of the internal bisectors. Now, when it comes to locus formed by arcs and circle, you should know that the locus of a point which moves so as to make a constant angle in a circle is an arc of a circle. The locus of a point which moves so as to make a constant angle in a circle is an arc of the circle. And 2, the locus of a point equidistant from a fixed point is a circle with equidistant distance as the radius. And finally, for lines and surfaces, the locus of a line that moves at right angle to itself is a rectangle. The locus of a line that moves at right angle to itself is a rectangle. And number 2, the locus of a line in 3-dimensional which, when rotated about a fixed parallel line, is a right circular cylinder. 3. The locus of a line in 3-dimensional which, when rotated about a fixed line at a constant angle which is not right angle, is a right circular cone. Then 4. The locus of a point in 3-dimensional space equidistant from a fixed point is a sphere. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether any of those, the words and the pictures, make sense to you, but let's see typical question. The first question here says the locus of a point P which is equidistant from 2 given points S and T is simply the perpendicular bisector of ST. That is the locus of perpendicular bisector, which says that the locus of a point which is equidistant from 2 given points is the perpendicular bisector. And look at here, it says the locus of the point which is equidistant from the line PQ forms a perpendicular line. The perpendicular bisector of a line SY is the locus of the point which is equidistant from the points S and Y. I am reading them for you to take note of them. Once you know them, that is exactly how the questions will come. So I don't need to explain or go deep because it doesn't deserve that deep explanation or deep details. The locus of points which is equidistant from a straight line and a fixed point is called parabola. The locus of a point which is 5 cm from the line LM is a pair of lines on opposite sides of LM and parallel to it. Each distance is 5 cm from LM. Determine the locus of a point inside a square PQRS which is equidistant from PQ and QR. If you have a square PQRS and it is equal distance from PQ and QR, it is simply the diagonal QS. And the locus of a point that is equidistant from a fixed point is a circle with that fixed point as center. Ladies and gentlemen, start this video again, watch over and over again up to 5, 6, 7 times. Make sure you understand all these locus and all these dictation. That is how questions are going to come. So I do not need to stress or draw diagram. If you are trying to analyze locus for you, it will take a lot of diagrams and structure and construction, which is not so necessary at all. At all. The topic is not so necessary to give such an emphasis. Now let's see angle of elevation and depression. That deserves our emphasis and strength. So see ya in the next episode.